We're Karen and Bo Christensen, a Danish-American couple who met in Germany in 2016. Bo is an airline pilot, and Karen is a freelance advertising creative director. In late 2022, we bought Château de La Tuilerie in Martel, France, and are working to make it a bed and breakfast and wedding destination fit for a queen. Welcome to Queen's Escape.
So one of the projects we have here is to create a garage/shop, and what we want to use for that is the current garage that we have in here, and then the horse stall next to it, and there's a wall between it that we want to take down. So eventually we want to have a bigger space for cars and tools, of course. You could imagine having a couch there, maybe a refrigerator with some drinks and music, of course. So I'll show you around a little bit. So the garage is pretty big already. You could fit 2 cars standing like this in here in the length. But what I want to do is to take down the wall, which is in 3 parts. And so first we will take out all the stuff today, then we will put up scaffolding, and then with a big hammer we will slowly take it down from the top open up into the horse stall. And yeah, I think that will be today's project. Now this old horse stall, of course, has not been in use for a long time. And I've been cleaning up in here. So the last thing we need to do is to remove the divider on the floor, which would be the divider between the horses, and then take down the wall as I showed you before, and thereby create more space. Then we are going to have to dig out the dirt here and take out the old concrete floor in the other room, and then we're going to have to create a new floor. Put epoxy paint on it so it's like a aircraft hangar kind of floor, and plaster up the walls, put insulation in, lights, and you can just imagine how this whole thing will become one big nice shop for cars and tools. One of my boys is hammering on the wall here. The other one is sanding garden furniture for the spring so we can paint that white. But you can see we've gotten further on taking the walls down between the garage and the horse stall. It's going forward. So here we are again in the garage, and there's been a big change this week because with the help of friends in the village over here, we were able to borrow a trailer and take all the bricks that we had lying on this floor here away to the déchetterie, which is the station where they have all the containers, and the trailer's out here with the last one to go. So we got some drizzle today, which is why we covered it up yesterday. So when this last load here is gone, we actually got rid of all the stones, which was quite a surprise, I have to say. And I've kept the intact ones so we can use it later. I actually have to cover it up as well so it stays dry. But that was yesterday's and the day before action. And another thing I want to show you in here, because I started sweeping the floor and you see this old stable stone floor coming out. So we didn't know it was here actually, but it is. Anyway, it has to come out because I want to make it level with the other concrete floor over here. So it goes level over to the edge here, and that means I have to dig it out. And one of my neighbors, he really wants the stones. He can use it for a driveway, he said. So the good thing is that when I have to get rid of these stones, eventually I have a place to go with them. Yep. So we found this stone floor where all the stones are vertical and not horizontal. So we've been chopping it up with this thing here. I don't know what you call that.
Pickaxe.
Pickaxe. And just to get the stones loose. And then we have to get it up into the trailer. And then one of the neighbors over in town, he would like the stones because he has a hole in the ground to fill it in. So it's a good way to make use of them again. So we need to get the stones out and then all the dirt out, and then remove the edge here, and then flatten it out, and then there has to be a new concrete floor made for the new garage.
Yep. What will you use it for? All of this?
Cars and equipment.
Right. So we try to be respectful of the things, the old things that we can save, in the chateau, but here in the outbuilding, we also need it to be functional for us. And one of the things that we really need is to have a large garage/shop where Bo can fix things and do the castle work. So, while we would have loved to keep that stone floor, its purpose was to be beneath horses. And we're not going to have horses, and we really need this. It would serve us much better for this to be level so we can bring cars in here as well as create a nice big shop. So that's why we do it.
We got all the stones out last night. the rest of it. So I still have the trailer here, and now there's a bunch of dirt that needs to come out. So I've started doing that too. And I'm getting help from my neighbor who lives just up in town here in the village, and he's going to come with his car in the evening after work, and then we fill it up. So I'm gonna fill up this trailer so it's ready for him to come in the evening, and then we will continue to do another 2 loads or so, and then hopefully slowly we will be getting all this stuff out of here so we can move on with the project of creating this new garage. Remove some of the sand into the trailer here, and it's hard to get under it because you keep hitting the little rocks you see everywhere, and so with the shovel trying to pick up the sand and the dirt, it's just it's a big job. So I want to remove this little edge here and then see if I can get in under it that way instead. So it would be easier just to scoop it up. So that's the deal now, and I'm gonna use the hammer you see over here to bang on it on the top and then the side to move this concrete here, and then hopefully get in this way.
So, Bo has ordered a digger to dig up the floor in the shop, future workshop. And it has come so much earlier than expected, so this is awesome.
So we got the digger today, and it's a 1.5 ton digger from a local company not too far from here. And just to tell you a little bit about it, it's a 200 euro price a day, and for every day you can use the digger for 8 hours. That means if you go above the 8 hours, you would have to pay for day 2 and so forth. Then of course they charge you for the transport here and back, and you have to pay what do you call that, a deposit, 1,500 euros. So they charge you the 1,500, and then they deduct the price of the transport and however long you want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan is now to dig out this floor, which is a very compact soil and rocks that we couldn't really, it would be backbreaking to get that out with our bare hands. So we've gotten the digger now.
And you're going to knock those poles down too, right?
Poles are going down, so this is going to be one big room.
And they aren't supporting anything, right?
Not really. This one is loose, as you can see here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Come right down.
This one is a little more firm. But we are not planning to have anything heavy up there, so unless you want to have 50 or 100 people dancing, it's fine.
But they were only there to support this wall that went this way, I reckon, huh?
No, they're there to support the live.
Oh, they are?
ones,
Okay.
but- yeah, but you do that in a construction because you want to prepare for a heavy load upstairs. But we're not planning to have a stone fireplace or anything up there that's heavy. We're not going to put a car up there or anything. So these iron bars here can carry a lot by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very deep. Okay. I did not expect that.
So this was day one of digging out in the garage here, and we got the 2 poles away. We got about 3 or 4 loads of trailer dirt rocks up to my neighbor because he's using it. He's using it for a parking spot that he can flatten out there. Anyway, this is how it looks now, and I've got to dig down to a level that is the same as the current floor here, and then put in some stones, and then of course get the concrete on top. But that's the job right now. So after a long day of digging in here, hitting bigger rocks, apparently there was bigger rocks hidden in the soil here. We got it out. My neighbor and I, we have been working all day, and I rented this digger here that I could use for 8 hours. So that's perfect. Now I'm down to a level where I can throw in some more stones, and then the concrete will come eventually, and then we got a new floor. The next step of making this concrete floor is, or was, that yesterday using the digger we got all the sand, dirt and stones out, but I also picked out stones in a pile that I can reuse, that I have to put under the concrete so it gets firm. And I put some of them back here, and I realized I don't have enough stones, but then I remembered that we actually have a pile somewhere else that I can also use, so I think I'll be okay. So that's the next step of getting this floor done, is to put all these stones here back. And what I also do is I use this bar here and then a level to make sure that I don't go above the other floor. So I can just put that across, and you see that red spot over here is where it should be going up to and not further, or actually a little less than that. And this big stone down here, this big fellow, we named Mont Blanc, like the big mountain in the Alps of France. It's a huge stone that I got out yesterday, and I put it outside the door with the digger. And then this morning we were able to push it back into a big hole here. So it's back in there. You can't really see it, but it was a heavy one. So that's the next step, is to get these stones in here. And then I need to fix up the walls as well, because I want to get all this plaster off, so to be able to expose all the nice stone that we have. Like this wall here, you see this good old limestone they used to build houses in down here in southern France is, I think, very nice, and it would look great in a new garage / shop. So there's still a long way to go, but it's definitely getting forward now, going forward. So that was really good. The only thing I did today was to have a visit from the mason, who is going to give me an offer on a concrete floor. He's going to have to put some gravel in here and a membrane to cover for weeds and other stuff, and then of course the concrete. But what I've done is I've cleaned out the rest of the room, so now it's empty and walls are swept and so on, at least a little bit. And then once the floor is in, then I can start getting back to work on whatever else I want to do here. Alright, so I found these 5 lights next door in another room, and I've cleaned them all up and I tested them that they all work. And so one is here. So the idea is to put them up vertically on the wall after I paint it, and then of course it will supply some light coming out in the room horizontally, whereas in the ceiling I'm gonna put some LED lights like that one, pretty strong, to light up the room for what you really need to do. But in the end, make it cozy with some lights hanging down from the ceiling in one of these corners. So you could imagine having a sofa here or something. Next step of the garage renovation has been completed, and that was a paint job. Today I made a deal with a mason, so he's gonna come at the end of the month and fill in gravel over here to the left, and a few days later he will come with the concrete. Of course he's gonna put a membrane in there too. So what I'm doing today is that I had these lights here that I was gonna put on this wall up here And then also I have a box that I got, like this one, and it has circuit breakers and stuff, but the red plug to the right is where the high power goes in, and that's a 380 volt power cable. And it comes from the corner up here, and then it goes over this way and down. And right now we have this old electricity that was in the old garage, and you see if I hold this thing up here, it's still hot wired, so I'm gonna have to go over to the Chateau and disconnect the power to the outbuilding here. What I also do is that to hang up the circuit breaker box, I just marked some holes here that I'm going to drill, and then I can hang up the circuit breaker box, and then I can disconnect the power and start to go to work with electricity. Over here at the garage, we had a lot of stuff standing around inside that we've taken out, and there were these 5 barrels here, and the 5 barrels had some diesel oil in them, which I poured out, and they're empty now, but I still want to make use of them in the future shop. And so yesterday I painted one almost all the way in this petrol blue color, but then I slept on it, and you know, I kind of want to display the French colors, so I went up to the hardware store. I painted this, trying to paint it red anyway, and so I'm definitely gonna do the French flag. So I got the blue, the white and the red here, so we will at least know that we are still in France when we're in the shop. But that's a little project I'm doing. In the garage we have limestone, and in the old days they would plaster it up to make it look nice, but I actually want to expose some of the limestone in the future garage here. So Today I'm chopping off that plaster, and I'm just setting up over here behind me so you can see that I'm just using a hammer and tool here to beat it off, and getting the plaster off is going to expose that very nice limestone that is in this room. Getting off the plaster like the white here was relatively easy, but the glue between the plaster and the wall was absolutely awful, and I had to chip it off in small pieces everywhere to get the stones exposed, and now it looks like this. So that's the result I was going for, and I've gotten everything off. I swept the walls, and next point or next stop is that the concrete floor here will be made, and after that I'm going to spend some time cleaning the walls a little more, so sweeping and vacuum cleaning them just to get the loose debris and the dust off, and then we can start to build a shop in here.